Hi, this is James from FMADIO, and this is a quick run through of the capture and filter capabilities of the FMADIO capture systems. So I'm going to start with looking at the options for capture, and there are two basic options. First of all, we can have an ad hoc capture, which we would use this quick capture capability here for, in which case we'd enter in a capture name, set the start time which defaults to now, and then a stop time which defaults to midnight, and then hit the record button, and it will create a capture for us. The alternative is to run a scheduled capture, and as you can see, I'm running this particular system 24/7, so I've got all my days enabled, and I'm running midnight to midnight. Up here we have the status of the capture, and you can see that in this instance this particular capture has been running for 24 hours, and I've got 42 gigabytes of data captured in there. So once we have the data captured from the wire, we simply go into the files option here, and you can see I've got a different capture here for each day because I'm running midnight to midnight. So I pick let's say today's captures, and then first of all straight away decide how I'm going to split this data up in order to analyze it. My typical preference is to do so by time, but we can also do so by splitting the data into chunks that our analyzer, whether it be Wireshark or something else, can handle, or we can straight away get into looking at individual protocols, or we can split by the capture port that we caught the data on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my data up by 15-minute intervals, and as you can see very quickly it goes off, it splits that data up and provides us then with these 15-minute data samples. So if I pick one from this morning, I'm going to go straight into the packet scope, and we can see here we've got a view of the data over that period, and that's the period that we're actually looking at here. I can zoom in on that and get an idea as to what sort of data is in there. We can also change the time resolution of the data on this graph, so if we want to look at more granular data in terms of the points on this graph, so if I want to say let's look at 100 millisecond data points, then I can do that. Oh, I have to click the analysis first. Okay, now I can change that. Okay, now we're seeing 100 millisecond data points within this graph. One of the most important things we need to be able to do within a system is to very quickly filter on the data that we want to capture. So I could do a quick filter for some traffic that I know I'll find on this network. So port 1883 is MQTT, a messaging protocol. And then I simply press the Analyze button again. Okay, that's done, and we can see that of the packets that we originally captured, the 705,000 packets that were in that 15-minute period, 1.9% of those matched the filter that I set, and that equates to 0.35% of the data. We can have a quick view of the history, the size of the packets on here. You can either set that to 1962 as being the top end, or 1500 depending on the network, and then we get a view of all of the MAC addresses, IP addresses, the various conversations, and if there's IPv6 then we'll get IPv6 matches as well, obviously port numbers, VLANs and MPLS tags. So from here, if we're happy that we've got the data that we want to look at in more detail, we simply download that data, and bring it into Wireshark. Now we'll be adding this capability, the three-pane decode, into the product very soon. But in fact, actually I saw a prototype of that this morning. It's looking very good already. So there we go, that's just a quick view of how to capture and do a quick filter and analysis of packets from an FMADIO capture platform.